Hello everyone, welcome back for another Anything Goes Saturday. For today's idea, I'm going to make a gift bag and I'm going to use a piece of cardstock. Along with that, I have some memento because I'm going to stamp my Santa on there. I have a marker to color it with, and I have some sparkly ribbon to use. I cut out a doily to use. I have my paper to do my stamping on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of red and I'm going to put the 11, it's an 8.5 by 11, no cutting, down. And I'm going to put my 11-inch side at the top and I'm going to score it first at a 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to go to 4 1/4. Then I'm going to go to 5 3/4. And then I'm going to do 9 1/2. Okay, these are my side panels and they're 1.5 inches. This is my main panel and it is actually 3 3/4. Now I'm going to turn this with my 8.5 at the top. And I'm going to score it first at 1 1/2, and then again at 7 1/2. And I forgot I have a punch I need for this, but I'll get it in a minute. So now that I've got that out of the way, let me take, and I'm going to fold and burnish on my score lines. All right, and I'm going to go to the next one. All right, and I'm going to do this one. And then I'm going to do this one. All right, that takes care of those. And now I'm going to fold and burnish, excuse me, these. Then we need to do some trimming. All right. The first trimming I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up these lines. So this is the 1 1/2 inch at the bottom. So I'm going to cut on that score line. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to miter that, and then I'm going to miter this side also. It'll just help it lay better. And I need to go in here and do a little bit better job in this corner. All right, there, much better. You're going to leave this one whole. You're going to go over to the next one, and again you're going to cut up that line. And you're stopping at the vertical score line. Horizontal, sorry. Vertical goes up and down. Cut and miter that side. Cut up the next line over. Miter. Okay. Then you've got a little tiny tab here that we don't really need. So we're going to cut up that line. And this time I'm going to turn it and I'm going to miter this side. That's my joining side. I'm flipping it around now because I'm going to cut this other side. I'm going to cut that piece, that little tiny piece, and I'm going to miter it. All right, like so. This piece we don't need at all, so I'm going to cut up, stopping at that horizontal line, cut up this one, stop that horizontal line, and then I'm going to cut that piece out like so. And this is the side that's like 3/4 of an inch. It might even be an inch. It is. It's an inch. All right, now I'm going to go up this side. And I'm going to cut this one off also. All right. Now, we have our box made, except for this is the bottom, this is the top. Let's see if this one will work. No. But what I can do is I can kind of fudge it and get it close enough. All right. Good thing I have all these different corner rounders. All right. So what I have to do is I have to put it under and then just kind of pull it over as far as I can get it and get it straight and round. Well, I still didn't get that one very good. Let me... Now, wouldn't you know? There it goes, popped out. And I'll trim that. It's got a little jagged edge. I'll trim it. All right, let me get this out. Last one. There. All right, got it. I did not think I was going to have that many issues with rounding the corners. There. Now, this is my top, this is my bottom. In my top, I'm going to flip this around. I want to add a handle. So what I'm going to do, and I'm kind of eyeballing this, I'm having this side even with the paper, and I'm trying to make sure that this is in the center of this as best I can get it. All right. And I'm going to punch. And then I'm going to move down, and I'm going to have this side even, and I'm making this even also, so I get a long piece all the way. It's off a little, but most of the time you can't tell. All right, let me do this one now. All right, I got that even, but it's got to come down some. It's up too high. A little bit more. There. And now I'm going to do this one. Same way. There. All right. Wow. Okay. Time to put our box together. This piece I'm going to fold over and make sure it's burnished really well, because I'm going to add glue, and I'm going to fold this over and it's even, and that will join our box. So let me grab my glue. Well, now wouldn't you know it? This happens all the time. Well, I got that out. So I just have to get a new pen. Oh, and I dropped it. Oh, found it. I just don't want the puppies to step on it. Okay. I'm going to come down this edge as close as I can get it. Okay. I'm going to fold this over and hold it just a little bit. And while I'm holding it, I'm going to grab another pin so I have it to put in my top. You got to use stainless steel pins. So after a while, it's just one of those things. So now I have that. I'm going to make my bottom. And I'm going to see, this I'm going to make the back. So I'm going to fold these in, and I'm going to put some glue on this. I think I need to clean out my tip. I haven't used it in a while because I had my glue. And then when you put this down, you want it square. Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to add some more glue. making sure I catch that edge. All right. Oh, push this down, flip it over, and then I'm gonna grab my ruler because I need something long. And I'm gonna go down in here and I'm going to push my pieces down, making sure my bottom stays square. Okay, there. And I'm gonna take and I'm gonna put this in here. So it doesn't get, doesn't clog up on me. All right, I have my doily ready. I need to stamp, color, and cut out my Santa. So I'm pulling out my memento because I'm going to take, I think I might need to ink this up again. All right, I'm going to flip him over and I'm going to stamp him, and I'm just going to let it sit there for a minute. And I need to find a pink for his cheeks and nose. All right. Oh, poo. All right, what I will do is I will color it and then I'll go back over it with a black pen. I won't do the black pen before I color because it'll cause the ink. I don't know if it'll cause the ink to smear or not, so I don't want to take any chances. So I'm coloring his hat. All right. Okay. Let me get some pink. Okay, I pulled out a pink and I tested it. I'm going to be using R601 from Altenew, and I'm going to give him some pink cheeks. And a pink nose. All right, and now let me see, I got a black pen here. Let me see if this one works, because I've got to use my skinny end. Oh, no. Let me find another one. Found one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace over this. Trace over his eye. Squiggle his eyebrow. And do that. See? Unless you tell somebody, they'll never know. All right, so I've got that done. Now let me cut him out. And to cut him out, I'm going to cut on the line. I'm cutting on the outside of the line. I don't really want white. And I cut off some of that, all that excess, because it just gets in the way of cutting. So I kind of trim as I need. Then I have this little piece here. Then all we have is the other side of his beard. Gotta get that piece off. There we go. Isn't he cute? He is adorable. I don't remember what company I got him from. It will be listed in the information section below, but he's just too cute. All right. I'm going to take my, I got to decide, am I going to put my doily there and him here? Keep him to this side. Okay. Now what I know I want to do is I want to just kind of bend the insides in like so. And I think I'm going to use the ribbon to tie it together at the top. I wasn't certain. I knew I was going to use it. Wasn't certain how. All right, let me see. I think I'm going to put him here and here. And then if you want to stamp something in there, you can. I don't, because if you stamp something with a person's name on it, they can't use it for anything. And I'm all about re-gifting, reusing those bags, tags. Well, you can't use the tag, reuse the tags, but bags over and over again. They're expensive if you get the really nice ones, and if you reuse them, then yeah. There. Now this is going to go here. I don't want it to hang off too much. All right. Because if it does, it'll bend it all up. And I'm going to put him here. I'm going to go in with my hand and push things down. Oh, and you know what? One of my tabs is not stuck down. So I'm not going to worry about it at this point. All right. Let me take this, go through here. All right. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to do it over to the side. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to go through both. Hold on. I changed my mind. I'm going to put it on, but I'm only going to go through one handle. All right. Let's try this again now. All right. Let me make my bow. I'm going to set it down so I can see what I'm doing. And I don't want it too big, so perfect, perfect, perfect. And this is not the kind of ribbon that you have to worry about it fraying. I am going to cut it at an angle. I'll cut this one too. And there is an easy treat box. Man, you could use this for so many things. Birthdays, lots of ideas will fit down in there. I hope you enjoyed today's idea, and you'll be back next week to see what I do for Anything Goes Saturday. Have a super Saturday. Bye.